Just doing final assembly on this 10. It's going to be shipped in 2 separate parts, and this top plate is a salvage from the TC Sounds buyout that I got years ago. Christian Castro, I think. He goes by TC 101 on most forums. He's still got a bunch of parts, but I got like, God, this was like a pallet of top plates and all kinds of weird shit that he was like, fucking have it, Pat. I was like, sweet, because, you know, me, I need all the lemons I can get. So what I did was the holes were slightly too large for an M6, which Tilo used, you know, a lot of standard hole sizes. So I went ahead and tapped these out. I don't even think they were tapped. Tapped it out for 1/4 and then just as a little nice, I mean, what else am I going to do with this fucking hardware? This is from JL. This is the W6 hardware, so which is 1/4. So, and it's kind of cool because then it uses a Torx bit, so it's not going to slip or anything like that. I don't like it because it's magnetic, because I don't want anything to get into the gap. And typically I like to use a stainless hardware, but you know, it's not the end of the world, because you can remove the top and then clean the gap, which is kind of cool. Again, that's modular audio concepts and kinetics. It's an idea right now. I'd love to turn it into a brand, but we'll see. Little prep work. So I'm using the TC 3K 3 HP coil in this gap, and I've already epoxied the bottom. The lead's already soldered. This is the 8.5 from lower to base, and then I went ahead and truncated these because they're going to sit like this, and so you need like little tiny holes. The way Tilo solved this on both the LA frame and the TI frame is he actually drilled holes right here so that he could service them or solder them from there. So I don't need to do that because I have longer tabs. So, but at the time, this was 99, 2000. That stuff just didn't exist yet in China, or what I'm finding out more is that that's all Tilo had it in stock and he just made it work. So, but because I'm finding all kinds of things like that where I'm like, I don't know how anybody keeps these standards when either China fucks up or somebody else fucks up, and you know, and there's tons of times where you buy, you know, a production woofer from China and they've changed it 3 times, you know, just because of, again, what parts are available, what parts are not. So what you think you're buying is quality and consistency. What you're really buying is a woofer that's been QC'd. That's it. And that all that means is that it's been tested and they go, yep, there's no rubbing. That's it. That's really all you're paying for. So and that's why I don't like paying retail. So, but this is my standard 1/4 inch clamp ring. Let me show you. You can use it as a spacer ring if you want, but I mostly just use it as a clamp ring. You can just flood this area with CA, and I've seen people do that, but again, I like to, especially when using multi-layer. This is not a multi-layer spider, but, and oh, by the way, on the 10, you do want to use a soft spider, because otherwise it will not play low. If you use it too stiff of a spider, it's not going to fucking play low. And remember that the TI frame only still offers 8.5 inch suspension. That's it. It's not 10 inch. So, but anyways, so I will flood this area, and then I put this in there. I've already trimmed them to size, and then I'll go clamp them, and then I'll actually, because of the size of the motor and the force that's, you know, the force that I'm going to stick in your mom's butthole, I just don't want to take any chances. And so what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll drill and put a bolt. Let's see, 1, 2. No, I do 4 on this one now. I used to do 8, but it's like, it's overkill. So, because I'm gluing as well. And really the bolting there is just to prevent it coming up. Because if it does break and it is clapping or something like that, you can actually go back and just flood that area with CA without really going through too much trouble. So, but get busy, child. So anyways, so I'm going to flood that with shim it, of course, and then go back and clamp this in place, and then terminate with solder, and then come back and put the cone on, trim the top, and that's it. So, and that is the full size, because there's the Quad Stack Junior, which is this one. That's the Quad Stack Junior, and then this is the full size Quad Stack, and then the big one is the 4x4. So, which is this one. And then I can't wait for stuff to happen and me get some money, and then I start this new fucking woofer project called, what did I call it? Replica? Yeah, Replica Audio. And so that what we're going to do is specialize, and this is an easy project. I mean, because it's all done in China, but it's basically I send them a drawing, and then they send me a sample or even just pictures, and I make sure it's all everything I wanted to do. The first project that I want to do is the JL Audio W7 motor. So they haven't changed the motor in 30 years now, and now they charge what, $1,300 just because the frame is painted black. It seems kind of a dick move if you ask me. But what that also tells me is that, you know, my yard, which is full, let me fucking show you, because sometimes I don't know why people don't fucking learn when I say something and I mean it. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking mean it. But people think that I talk shit, and I granted, sometimes I do, but all you have to do is ask me. You go, hey Patrick, were you kidding? Yes or no? And I'll be honest with you, right? Because that's after the show, and that's, you know, whatever. So, but, you know, I tell people how many fucking JL conversions I've done. These are all the Rockford conversions I've done. Those are all the T2 conversions. Those are all the 13W7 conversions I've done. This is the W6 conversion. So I've done a lot of conversions, man. And most of that has just to do with, at the time I didn't have parts, or I wanted to stick out. I wanted to be special. I wanted to give people something that was different, and I worked really hard at it. So not that there's anything to protect, and that's what I'm showing you guys, is that anybody can do this. So it just takes some hard work and some practice, and, you know, I don't know, determination, big dick, that helps. So when I say these things about, you know, that I've done literally dozens, at least, maybe, you know, 50 or 100 of these transfers back to JL. So I want to do, first one I want to do is a replica of the 12W7 motor. So, and then the other thing I want to do is add at least one other bolt hole pattern so that you can make it retrofit. So the good thing though is that I think JL has abandoned the American vendor that used to make their boots, the JL W7 boots for the magnets. And so I think we can order those, because they get all theirs made in China now, which cost, you know, 10 cents on the dollar. Good for them. I just, again, I think it's so funny when people defend JL as if they're a parent or an uncle. But, you know, little do they know the uncle's been playing hide the salami with them, and that's not a child's game, you know. Fuck. It's been fucking molesting you and fucking putting his greasy hands in your pockets. So, but anyways, you know, to each his own. I don't want to judge people that get molested. So anyways, 12W7, we'll be able to make the boots here in America, and then the motors will come completely from China, but they'll be way affordable. So we're talking maybe 200. Let's do that. 200 shipped, and that'll give me some good margin to work with, and then definitely some room for you guys to then mark up and do stuff. And there's plenty of parts out there. And again, I would love to do either see it, because it has the 5-hole pattern. You can do the like a regular 6-hole pattern, 5 inches, which is 127 millimeter. You could do the 6-hole pattern, so you could do a regular frame or the TI frame, right, which is what I've done many times. Or you can also, let me show you real quick. Again, people don't fucking believe me, but I also don't take pictures of every fucking woofer I've built. Have you kept track of every fucking hot dog you've eaten? No. Or dick you sucked? No. You suck the dicks and then you move on. So this is my other one, which is Audio Guts. I still want to do that website, but that's a lot of work, and I need like a team of people. So where is it? JL. So these are some of my conversions, and let me just do this real quick so it makes it easier. So a bigger picture. So that was a 13W7 turned into a 15. There's another view of it. That's a W6 front when we had those dust caps. W610. See, that's the SoundStream frame I was telling you about. And then I even went with the knurled fucking terminals right there, because I don't know, user wanted it. I'm like, I don't like those either, but that's what people wanted. They think they're better. They're not. So it's always good to have that fucking Oh yeah, somebody was asking me about this enclosure that I'm like, this is a JL enclosure, and they're like, how do I know? I'm like, well, it says right there, JL Audio, and that's their fucking terminal, which I think they actually got from Tecate, out of, I think it's TJ. They used to make them in Mexico, but that's, you know, that's all gone. That's all in Chinese now. They probably make the whole box in China now. So again, JL's big enough that they can, you know, do what the fuck they want. And people are still going to buy it. This is actually a replica. This is not, this is, again, so sometimes I do, who was it? Let me turn this down. So the idea that I got was from Weird Al. Weird Al Yankovic, he will sometimes do a parody, right? Like Gangster's Paradise, where he parodies the song, and then he'll parody the video, right? There's other songs that he does that are inspired by other songs, but they're not a parody. And so that's what this is. This is my version of a JL woofer, of like basically the 20 spoke frame. And you know, if it was done JLE, I would do it in silver, and I actually did that. So just again, JL inspired. It's not a JL woofer, but it's JL inspired. So the one that I'm thinking of as far as Weird Al, because my friend Mike Honecker in Nebraska, and every time I say finger, I always think of him and I go, finger. So, but yeah, he's the one that turned me on to a lot of Weird Al, and there's a song called Dare to Be Stupid, which is very good. And that's one of the songs that is, if you watch the video, it looks like Devo, but it's not. It's just inspired by. So, but it's an original song. It's an old W3 or W6. Amps, amp cuts. Okay, so there's the W7. And then I took pictures, and then I actually made a drawing. It's very crude, but I got all the measurements. And guess what? What do you know? A lot of the measurements are in metric. So, and the reason why you know that is because it's an even metric number. And typically they go in increments of 5. So like the other day I had a bolt pattern, I forget what it was for, but it was 145 millimeter. So, and I had that done by them at the metal shop. And so, but 140, 150, 155, 160, that's when you know it's actually a metric measurement, meaning it was designed to be made in China later or even now. So the only time the exception is probably the 5-inch pattern, which has been, you know, the standard from the beginning, and that turns out to be 127 millimeter. So that's all. Just give you a heads up. Let's see what some are. It's all just JL shit. Sometimes I just keep these for reference. Sometimes they're just, you know, when I get them in and I sell them. Those are old pictures I had on the website. I like that combo with the coil. So I had that one made up for me. Dual 2. Is it the Dual 2? I think that's the 13W7. Had that done in Dual 1 and Dual 2, and I'm all out of those. So there you go. There's one. There's a W7 that I had put on. So, and then I just, you know, I again, I'm not really original. I just happen to find places. This is a that was the 13W7 that I did with an adapter before I figured out that I could drill the frame. So see, that's a little silver part. So, but there's a W7. There's another W7. That was an old W6. Oh, was it? Go back. There we go. That was an old W6 with a stamp frame. And then I made it Black Widow. And then because it was a stamped steel frame, the only gaskets that I had were these Diamond Audio ones from the Diamond Audio D3 buyouts. So had those. 500, it was just amps I had, you know, I get in on trade. This was my favorite one. This one was actually the Sundown Mega Roll. The Sundown Mega Roll is slightly larger than the Lord of Bass one, and that is because Lord of Bass is not allowed to use the tooling that Jacob paid for, which granted, fine, that's great, but you can make something similar, and that's where China comes in and they make something similar, and that's what the Lord of Bass one is. So, and at the time I happened to get these anodized aluminum dust caps from Lord of Bass, and they fit fucking perfect, and it made it look just, you know, tits McGee, better than the original. And eventually with Mac, that's what I want to do for you guys is instead of, because it's a fucking mistake to use aluminum cones. They're a pain in the butt and they're not durable. And so if it's just a dust cap, you can actually cut that and then pull it off and replace it. See? And then if you want to change colors, you can change colors. So that's what I want to do. But I think that's just a better picture of the same one, same driver. In hammered blue, again, just to be different, nothing special about that. That was another color or version I did. So I think that was it, but I've done lots of conversions. Oh yeah, here's the TSPs on that one. That's what it ended up being. So 29 QTS, which is very typical. The VAS happens to be quite small considering how floppy the suspension is. So I thought that was interesting. So, and I used to use the original TC Sounds. Oh, that was just a comparison to show you the W3 and then my version, which is a 2 5/8 coil from, this is the Serwin Vega VMAX, which is the same as the Diamond Audio D3, or was, I think the new owners. So, and then that's the 6-layer aluminum little chubby little guy that fits in there. I was basically just showing you how JL rips you off, that's all. There's some other stuff. So, that was the original JL cone that you used to be able to buy from a distributor. I think, who was it? Was it Speaker? Oh, Springfield Speaker Repair. So, oh yeah, they're in the cahoots too. So I don't deal with them anymore as well. I used to do some trades with him, Dave. I think his name was Dave. Can't remember now. But it was weird. Like I couldn't figure out the vibe of why. And it goes back to the original. I talked to him one time on the phone, and he was all up for trades, but he was like acting weird. And now I see why, because he was in cahoots with the other guys. They're the fucking soft parts mafia. But anyways, yeah, don't let the fucking mafia rule your life. Go just figure out another solution and get around them. So I love you guys. I will talk to you later.